Yeah.
Okay, I would ask you to turn
Sorry?
I'd ask you to turn it off.
Why? Why would you like me to turn the recorder off?
There's no reason for you to be recording it at this time.
Well, isn't it up to me if I want to record something?
I've advised you that at this time you're not to be on this site. You are trespassing on this site. It's a council-owned property.
Okay.
Okay, I've asked you to leave the grounds. Okay?
Understood?
So can you now leave the grounds of the property, please? That's all. I'm being polite to you.
Well, I'm just here to see some friends and see what's going on.
And that's fine. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
And I'm asking you politely now to leave the site.
Are we doing any harm by being here?
I studied psychology myself, and that test that you're talking about, which is not to do with that. Okay, well, I don't think that it is, but I've asked you now to leave the site. It's the third occasion you are trespassing on the site. Okay, I'm asking you to leave the site. Okay, it's council-owned property. Okay, you can leave the site. You have a choice whether you want to leave the site or not. I know, I'm accepting that you're doing a friendly protest. I'm asking you on a friendly basis if you would leave the site. I'm not asking you in a bad way. I'm not being... I'm all for... Yeah.
We're going to leave anyway.
Yeah, we are.
It's the whole idea that you're going to come up to us and tell us off for being on some silly little piece of concrete.
But no one is ever...
This is completely waste, isn't it, really?
I realise that at the moment it looks like a waste ground, but it's a waste ground that is owned by somebody, and at this time,
They've come and asked you, they come and asked you.
Who is he? Yeah, and who's...
Just a few bits like...
This piece of ground is actually watched during the daytime by Westfield. Is it watched by? It's watched by Westfield. They've asked me to Westfield. It's watched by Westfield. I've been asked to come down there.
And you've asked us, so you might give us a chance to see what we're going to do in response, and then, and we don't have to, it's just, you said your bit, we've said our bit, we'll just see what happens. So it's just
thank you very much. And I'm not saying what you guys are doing is wrong.
It's just really interesting. I kind of feel like there's a lot of perception of what people should do in this situation, and not like a lot of people actually thinking.
Okay.
There's that security guy down there or whatever, and there's people
he's
watching on
standing
camera.
there looking menacing in a ridiculous
I'm not far to in this situation, I should behave in the way. And it's actually like, I think,
Okay.
I don't know, I think it's interesting. I mean, there's no problem in this situation, we're all just going to leave. But I think there's close context where this could lead to all kinds of negative...
I think so.
Nobody's trying to be negative.
I'm not sure what the chalk's
I'm not trying to be negative with you. Not at all.
You can have that.
I'm happy for you to take my details as a part of the
Then why were you being really funny about this guy videotaping?
I don't...
That's just like a perception of how you should behave,
I'm not sure
right?
why you would need to videotape me, but if you feel the necessity to videotape this conversation, then that's fine. My name is PC Rebecca Day, my collar number is 22862. My sergeant is Sergeant Martin Conlon. His collar number is 2205.
She likes it now, she's getting it.
I do not have an issue, however, I'm not sure the necessity behind having it.
Okay. So you were just kind of curious why I was recording, I guess.
More than anything.
Right. Okay.
documenting the day, so it's just a part of that, I suppose. You know,
Perhaps you could explain to me your drawing to educate me instead.
well, just gone around drawing trees and things that they probably would rather see in a space like this, other than an enormous shopping centre that, or
From a view point of view, when we're asked to come, it's our job. It is just that we have to come and ask advice to do it. It's not, we're not doing it from the bias of using them. Sure, you're another.
working on behalf of someone else.
We are. We don't say to you, we're not discriminating from one animal to another. Well, I suppose it's protection of private property, so there's that. And then, but you know, if it's council land, then that's the sort of different side of it.
Is it actually owned by the council? I mean, is that
So if it's
right?
council land, then there should really not be a problem. That's as it at this point in time has been advised to me. You would say to me on the way and found that it's something different, and you would come back to me, you know, in a day's time and advise me that it's something different, then, you know, come back and talk to me about that and say to me, actually, we found out this land is something different, then advise me on that fact. I'm quite happy to come back and do that. Okay? This is the information that I have given, okay, at this time. So it's not that I'm coming here to wreck what you're doing today.
Do we know where the information came from? Well,
This is what's been fed to me over my control room today. I get information from my control room. This is what's been fed.
Okay, cool. So you don't know where that's come from within the control room? It's just
This is information I've been asked to come down here
okay.
and speak to you. That's
Cool.
what else is council property?
So this is council property, we're not sure.
Well, no, it gives council. Well, that's what you said.
Yeah.
And we're not allowed to build meeting up to kind of chill out and enjoy the day, I suppose. No. We're just like people. We decided to come down here. Just show our concern over what's going to happen. Rather see something that's going to be more beneficial to the community.
Yeah.
That I actually want.
I mean, who really profits from this kind of development? Building more, more of the same.
I mean, we had an art centre 30 years ago, and we can't have that back, but we can always have shops. And I guess.
Which are going to close in a couple of years anyway.
I'm one of the town centre officers here. If it's something that you would consider as this town, you can come to me and my town sergeant to discuss. Your viewpoints across. What view on members of the public and have
In what sense would that? Yeah.
Over the years, I mean, I know as an individual, I've tried to express my voice for about 30 years in this city, and nothing changes.
Like doing community stuff.
And
I think so.
children and
I think
our
I'm going to go
grandchildren.
like, do somewhere else. Take care.
You too.
Nice to see you.
Yes.
Those areas were incorporated within that.
Wouldn't that be great?
What? Incorporated within what?
Using our money. Well, we just,
So therefore, if those things were going to happen, that you at least had an opportunity to say that those resources and the things that you wish to have were going to be incorporated within the changes that were going to be done.
What the overall thing is that we're incorporated within. But I mean, I think
Because those things are only going into happening. And nobody, if nobody sits down and has to think about what it is that they want to see incorporated and actually say it, then
I suppose I'm wondering what the model is. I suppose I'm wondering, because I suppose I thought we had voice through voting, but that it doesn't
quite seem to pan out that way. And then you think you have a voice through writing to the papers or whatever, but it doesn't seem to work that way. And then you think you have a voice through talking to a counsellor, and then it doesn't seem to work that way. And it just feels like, I mean, for example, with the children's playgrounds, you know, there used to be places where children could just play. And I mean, you know, Mayflower Park, for example, they've got squeezed into that little corner so the boat show can have its space.
So I'm not saying that, for example, the new building will have to have a playground. What if that was incorporated?
Well, I think I'd have a problem with it being incorporated. Quite frankly, that is the main reason. You know, the main thing is to build a big shopping centre, and then you know we'll give you a little bit on the side, you know, to keep it quiet. I mean, that's not really. I mean, personally, that's not where I'm coming from. If we're saying like you know have a vision for the town which isn't just about shopping, really. Yeah. Well, you know, there can be small independent shops, or there can, but you know, it just seems to be, you know, you've got this shopping centre, that shopping centre. You know, it's just like moving things around in a kind of merry-go-round. You know, then the Mayflower Park is going to be developed as well. So, you know, then this will have a little bit of time. Probably Westquay, after that will shut, and then you know everything will move down there. So it's kind of just like
and the one on East Street went last year.
You know, and whatever small concession is made to, you know, community public space is not.
The resources being put into the younger generations again.
And us. Things like just going shopping. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of, you know, libraries are getting squeezed, public space, you know, park, playground, everything's getting squeezed, and there are fewer and fewer places to come together that don't involve buying things. And I suppose what I really enjoyed about the idea of coming along today was just kind of sitting down with people and just saying hello and having a nice time. No, and it would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice as human beings to just have a space in our huge city for us as human beings? I don't know. That's not
Come together to do things on shopping. Create art.
Where things are done. I mean, you know, there are the parks, but I mean, they're very much parks, aren't they? You know, it's not sort of active space. Whereas I suppose, you know, when we work something where people are actively involved.
Yes. Young
And you know, which builds community basically. You know, not shopping centres where.
Guys, stay home now.
You're not allowed to leave now.
No, it means that you don't.
She wants to choose.
Seriously.
Why? Under what?
Seriously, stay home
No,
now.
seriously, under what reason are you telling me to stay somewhere and put stuff in my car? Give me a roll. Thanks.
No, because I will talk to him.
Who?
With your permission then, I will put this in my car and then I'll come back and talk to you. Is that okay?
No, I think. Can you all just give me a second when I go and speak to him?
No, I'm going to put this in my car, but I'm not going anywhere.
I'm talking to her anyway. Maybe. It's just part of his job is he's a public school from Westby and he's sort of there.
So nobody gives a crap.
We're all going to kick us off.
So what's that Marks and Spencer drawing about then? Is that what you're saying about, yeah?
We will just things.
What does it
The
say?
sea eating up the shops.
Yeah, like I think it says pavement shops.
Marks and Spencer.
Yeah.
I think you know what that's about, don't you?
Yeah.
My kids used to call it that.
All bit short.
She comes into Hamburg.
Yeah.
The thing I don't understand is even if you look at it from like a financial, economic perspective, the tourists, why are tourists going to be more attractive to a place that's just chock full of shopping centres that you can find anywhere else, as opposed to a more rich and varied cultural offer, more green space? So if the council are thinking of, you know, attracting more tourists, why are they doing this sort of thing, you know? Especially when there are other shopping centres closing, on the one on East Street, what's the one at the top of the road? Hardly anyone uses it. Bargate, Marlins. So why build another one? Where's the economic rationale behind that, really? Who profits?
we can't really. It would be difficult for us to comment on that. We can't really comment on that. It's not our field. Really.
Sure. I mean, I appreciate you can't give an official answer, but I mean,
we're police officers. It's not our field. You would have to
Totally.
speak directly to the people that are dealing with that.
I mean, outside of your official capacity, do you have an idea of what the rationale behind it might be? Just from an economic perspective, who's going to profit from it?
Southampton itself, I would imagine.
In what way?
Yeah. Once again, I can only, point you in the direction of people, the best people to talk to, which are
Being
the businesses themselves, really.
the businesses. I think maybe that's the answer.
And the people of Southampton, really.
So how do you make the connection between the businesses and the people of Southampton? So obviously, if you're in here the first year or two that it opens, then you're going to have some nice business, maybe, hopefully. But how does that connect with everyone in Southampton benefiting?
We can't really answer your questions.
Okay.
We can't do that, unfortunately.
Okay.
Like I said, you're going to have to talk.
Yeah. No, I'm just interested in your opinion, like not an official answer.
And again, we can't give you our opinion.
Okay.
On this,
Well,
unfortunately.
thank you. Cool. Maybe something to think about, though.
Yeah.
So what's happening now? You're going to get piled into a police van.
I don't understand what's the issue. I missed the beginning of it. So are we trespassing or what's it doing?
It's because it's deemed as council
Noise pollution.
The council.
It's watched by West
So the council asked you to it's easy phoning. How do you phone an event of these people? Well, I mean, it doesn't feel like we're doing very much damage by that podcast. I'm just wondering what the big problem is.
I mean, at the moment, guys, as I said to you earlier,
You may have said this already because I missed
Yeah.
it because I was away from the police station before I started.
they just aren't happy with people being here. You don't seem to be doing. I've just spoken to Western management, who was just stood behind me.
Yeah.
Having spoken to you and having spoken with all of you, just having the conversation that I've just had with you, and about the things that you want to achieve. I've just said that I'm more than happy to leave you here on the land.
You're wonderful.
I think if we were leaving anyway, then we might.
Just to make a point, huh?
Fine. I've said, I'm more than happy for that. And he's fine, so, as long as I'm happy with the situation. We've had a chance, I've had a chance to at the end of the day, they're entitled to give the police a call when they've got somebody on the land that they're unsure about what's going on. It can sometimes be that we have members of different communities that they're not sure who they are, they're doing what they want to, and they are entitled to ask police to come down, speak to people, check, just check that everything is in order. We've all spoken, you've been polite to me. I'm sorry, I hope that I've been polite to you. I hope that I've answered questions. I realise that I can't answer all of your questions. If there's anything that I'll give you my details, if there's anything that you can think of that I can help with, I'm more than happy to sit down with you. And as I've offered, perhaps, think about sitting down with me and my sergeant and discussing.
Can you take your
Yeah.
name then?
I'd be interested in that.
I think
Of course, I'm more than happy to, and and discuss things further with you. It's not often that we get people that do want to sit down and discuss things that are going around
Great.
so close to the city centre. And we are the town centre unit, and that's what we do. So and we do community engagement. This is what we're all about. So more than happy to do that. Okay, and it might be that we can sit down with West Green and talk about what is going on. Perhaps not put your minds at rest, but
I doubt it.
perhaps not, but maybe answer some of those questions that are perhaps you're struggling with or you're thinking about that you're not getting your answers from anywhere else.
I mean, the real difficulty is that it's about you do get answers, and there's a big system there. So Portswood, we went through a big thing with this new Sainsbury's, which is brilliant. And I go there, weekly shopping, and I'm really glad it's there. It's much closer than Mile of One, all that stuff. But the deal, there was all sorts of kind of community deals that they were going to do. They were going to build a playground, and it was going to offer free parking for people that go into Portswood, and they were going to build a doctor's surgery and build a library. And of course, what happened is they put up the shop, and then none of the other stuff has happened. They've just put up a sign now saying, "Hey, you're only allowed to park here for 2 hours, and then we'll start charging." You think, no, but you said before that it wasn't. You weren't going to charge. And so all
And the
those-
playground's right next to a really busy road,
Yeah, it's
so
horrible.
no one
Really
wants to
unsafe.
play there with
And
their
so
kids.
we all know,
So,
and without
yeah.
your, I know you've got a job to do, and I'm really glad that you do your job. But without our uniforms on, we all know that the kind of the corporations will have a much bigger say in all of this than us.
And at the end of the day, I do wear a uniform, but at the end of the day, it comes off.
Yeah,
and
we're all-
I am a human being just like you,
Yeah.
and so is my colleague, and we do want to try it.
I'm not sure about man with not this man, sorry. The other man was really weird. But
And I do try and understand and want to and I do want to understand to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Where it is because I do. This is just it comes off. It does, and
Southampton's a nice place. We have a nice time in Southampton doing happy stuff like this. just try kind of just push those little borders a little bit.
Yeah,
And it's quite exciting that you come along and take an interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Raise the profile of the event enormously,
I'm a little bit different, and I'm quite happy to, want to push the boundaries, and that's fine. That's fine.
I do want to move on too.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm quite happy to go on to. Right, okay.
Thank you very much. It's nice to meet you.
Let me give you my card. Do you want to,
228.